Keep cutting out.
Okay. All right. So am I better now?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So let's start over again. All right.
Okay.
Because like here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna record this conversation, right?
Okay.
So we can like put all this up, you know what I'm saying? So everybody understands what the situation is and what exactly who you are, why we should listen to what you're saying, and what exactly you went through yesterday and today.
Oh Lordy. Okay.
If that's cool.
You're gonna have to let me. Yeah, you're gonna have to let me go grab another pack of cigarettes. Though.
Okay, go ahead. Do what you gotta do.
I'd be right back.
Well, folks, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, anytime I get information, I'm gonna bring it to y'all. So, you know what I mean? I'm gonna bring this information to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I have vetted remotely what she's saying, and I will back up some of the evidence in the description. You know what I mean? And this person works for Fema. You know what I'm saying? And is a water purification specialist. And she was in meetings with Fema yesterday and today with the WHO, with the World Health Organization. So she's going to tell us exactly what's going on and what they're planning on doing before we're able to find out from the government. Just give me a minute, you know what I'm saying, and we'll get there.
Okay. Are you there?
I'm here. I got, you know what I mean? I got the OBS on. It's just, I'm just recording the voices. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Now we're using names.
I'm going to keep you remotely anonymous. I'm going to call you Raven. You can call me Tom Pnoid because that's who the fuck I am. And that's what my channel says, which is not my real name, but
that's fine.
Like, it is what it is on the internet. You know what I mean? Stay one step ahead of the hangman as much as possible. You know what I mean?
All right.
So Raven,
with yesterday.
Hang on, wait. Let's start with who you are, right? Because people have no idea who you are. Raven is a water purification specialist for Fort Riley, Kansas, right?
Yes.
You run the water purification
in the main plant. Yeah.
The main plant. All right. So you came to me yesterday, or actually you hopped on the stream with me yesterday and was telling me about some things. And then we had a long discussion afterwards, and we're going to sit here and have another conversation today and kind of go over all this stuff. You had brought to their attention that the water quality was not what it's supposed to be. And like, because of the fact that they shut down your inlet for water, you end up the lime and calcium mixture within the filtration system ended up jamming up inside of the system. Inside of the plant, right? Okay.
And it's the how do I say this? All right. Trump is still rebuilding our military after it got depleted. So everything is coming in like little bursts here and there. Well, a lot of facilities got like left. Okay, they got left behind. And water is essential to life. And apparently previous presidents didn't care and everything went to shit. All it took was one main being turned off and it almost like disabled the whole water plant.
Okay.
You know, and it's caused a lot of grief.
Yeah, that tends to be the infrastructure in America. It's very old and has not been updated for a long time.
Right. And then you have to keep in mind also, like, back in the day when they were, wherever you are, wherever your listeners are, there's a good chance that half of your water supply is already tainted by galvanized pipes.
Well, I'm be honest with you, a lot of our shit's still running through terracotta.
Oh.
Like, it's way worse here than you could possibly imagine. Like,
well, I mean,
way worse than you could imagine.
Pretty bad.
No, you have literally no idea how bad. Like, it got so bad here that the water main breaks had been leaking for so long that they actually collapsed like sides of like hills and like you wouldn't really call them mountains, but they're big hills, and they fell on the buildings and like you know what I mean, hurt people and killed people, and like whole parking lots and like buildings were lost, and like the city's still like suing back and forth between like local business owners as to who's responsible for it, because the city doesn't want to take responsibility.
Well, it would technically fall back on city and state if they took federal funding to lay those lines.
No, no, no. Like, yo, these lines are from like the fucking 1800s.
That's still state.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, it's technically city, right? But like the city's bankrupt.
Yeah.
My city was the first city to declare bankruptcy in the United States, right? So like we're in bad shape financially.
I was unaware of that. I
Yeah.
apologize for not being up on my.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, like we have 50,000 residents within the city limits and 4,000 taxpayers.
Doesn't that terrify you?
Oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yo, there's no grocery stores, you know what I'm saying? The fucking high school and junior high schools and middle schools, like they're in such bad shape that like they hire minority construction consultants, and then like they take the money and run off with it. It's bad anyway, right? Don't worry about my city. So anyway, right? You are a water purification specialist, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I
Like,
do the testing and I play in labs a lot, and I'm here for humans. I am not here for a massive paycheck. So, and with Fema, I don't know how to say this tactfully. They're supposed to be the end all, but they're not. As long as we have Democrats running shit, our hands are being tied again. As long as we have anything to do with the UN, our hands are being tied.
Okay. So
we're not getting the funding or finances that technically can sustain life or sustain. And today's shit show is.
All right. So wait. First, let's go to yesterday, right?
Okay.
And
yeah,
right.
I was really upset. I do apologize.
You're fine. I want to hear, and my viewers want to hear who you were in a meeting with yesterday.
CDC.
And you were in a meeting with the Center for Disease Control yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I'm assuming they gave you more information than the vodka and lidocaine and aloe thing. I want to hear more than that.
They did, and it was so generic. I'm like, do you realize I can go on Google and get this? You're giving nothing to me. You're giving nothing to us because there was 18 of us. You know, I'm like, you're skirting around. I'm not seeing transparency. I said, how? How did it get this far? How? And how did y'all not know?
Okay.
And they couldn't answer. So a coworker had asked the same question, but he worded it different. He just said, why didn't you tell us? Why did we have to go 2 fucking months? And he did drop the F-bomb. Why did we have to go 2 effing months before you guys even acknowledged it?
And their answer was?
Had to be sure it was going to be, it would go from epidemic to pandemic. And I'm like, that makes no sense.
Yeah, that's a jurisdiction thing, I think.
You know what? It's stupid because in your earlier live, someone, and I don't know if it was you or if it was XL who brought it up, when the swine flu was going around and they were slaughtering the pigs, throwing it in the water, okay, they were contaminating the water as well. Yes, it's a combination between bats who are infected, but here's the other thing about bats. They can get Ebola, they can get everything, and they're immune. Okay, so a bat shits on the ground. Pigs eat it. Pigs are not immune. They slaughter them, they burn them, they throw their parts into the water. Guess what's going to happen? Mutation.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what happened again, but this time it was an open market in Wuhan. Okay. When I say open market, that means it's open. It's not sheltered, whatever. Bats, birds, everything can fly above shit in the ice, which is water. And it infects fish, shellfish, all of that. They're not owning it. And so I had asked, I said, well, you guys are here. Well, this is what happened today. I said, you guys are here and you're asking us to be a
Okay,
part of
okay,
this.
wait.
Okay.
Like, yo, because like, yo, this is, gonna be, this is recorded, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be put out. Who was there today?
Today was representatives from the World Health Organization.
Okay.
Which is who?
Yes, W.H.O.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what information
Or
did we?
W.H.O. useless.
Yeah. Okay. What information did you get from the WHO?
Pretty much they're doing like a global fundraiser. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wait.
So
Wait. Break this down. Break this down. What exactly they're doing?
Okay. Between them and the Swiss philanthropy people, they've gotten this brainstorm to where they want all of us to start donating. Okay. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, are you kidding me? Is this really happening? They said all donations will be for strategic preparedness. I'm like, why didn't we have this set in place 6 months ago?
Wait, did they say what strategic preparedness is?
Oh, yeah. It's money to buy supplies, enable countries to track and detect the disease, accelerate efforts, and life-saving vaccinations. It's like, shouldn't we have been 6 months ahead of the game? If there were signs in China in this Wuhan back in September that nobody wants to address, but they'll address it on New Year's Eve. Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay, so let's go back a minute. All right, so the World Health Organization, all right, came to you today. How long was this meeting?
Before I walked out, it was an hour and a half.
Okay.
I think it's still going on.
It's still going on. You should have stayed. I'll be honest with you. You should have fucking stayed.
You know what?
Like, yo, to bring us the information, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you should have stayed. But that's
there was about 22 of us who walked out.
Okay.
And we're from all different, sectors.
All right. So basically, the World Health Organization came to you and said they're crowdsourcing funding to help fight the coronavirus.
Oh, yeah. And again, it's under the guise of the United Nations and this Swiss foundation. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why isn't China in here doing their thing? Why aren't they stepping up their game? Because guess what? Once again, if we go through history, SARS, MERS, H1N1, where did they come from again? China. So, and again, to me, something is the propaganda going on with the media is making it worse, to where these people think like this is just the end all for us. We're not going to go to war. We're all going to die of this disease. And I'm like, you guys you're not seeing the bigger picture. You're going to be ruining families. You're going to be ruining businesses. The economy will take a hit. And as far as them listening to me, I'm just a pissant in their eyes.
Well, for sure, right? You know what I mean? But like the trick is to be that pissant that can fucking hear what exactly they're telling everybody and have the opportunity to stand here and like actually listen to, the words that are inside, inside of the government, and like bring it out to the rest of us public individuals, right?
And that's why I kind of tracked y'all down last night. I was frustrated. I'm not under any, do not disclose. I am not under any of that as long as I'm a contractor. They're not my God.
Okay, so
but I think people need to.
All right. Well, all right. Let's talk about this crowdfunding thing, right? Because like I want to get down to like brass taxes and understand exactly how and what they're doing. So like let's what are they doing?
Okay. All right. Well, WHO, World Health Organization, they're leading this effort. Okay. And they got the UN, United Nations, whom I do not agree with them at all. Them and the Swiss to like start putting money up, but now they want to do like donations from the public and crowdsource. It's you can Google it. I still cannot believe that I thought I was getting like vital information today. No, 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 no. They're in need of like millions. Okay, wait. Here, let me just read this to you.
Okay.
Outline funding of at least 675 million US dollars for critical response effort in countries who are in the most need to help through April 2020. As the outbreak evolves, funding will need to be likely increased. To me, this is going to be a cash cow for pharmaceutical. It's going to be a cash cow for the UN.
Well, I know like what they're gonna do. Like, you know, the Fed's buying a bunch of treasuries and printing out a bunch of money, and all of it's gonna get sucked up into this type of shit.
Right.
And we're basically gonna bail out the world with this nonsense, right? And I get that mentality. And
it's not a good mentality.
No, this is not the first time we've done it. You know what I'm saying? We're usually the world's fucking savior. As long as we get credit for it, it's not bad. But, all right. So, the World Health Organization came and said that they're going to be begging for money from people, from private citizens, to help fucking fund this nonsense. Are they literally saying that they're trying to crowdsource money to help pay for the coronavirus efforts?
Yeah, and well, I just pulled up because I wanted to be clear on what I had heard during the meeting before I walked. They don't have everything in here, but there's a donate now button. I can link it into your Discord if you want.
What? Just send me the link for the web page for that, and I'm gonna put that up. I'll put that up later on, right? Because I'm gonna actually like edit this video and like put like, you know what I mean, like pictures and shit over top of stuff. You can just grab the link and put it into the message where we are right now. Right.
Okay.
All right.
Wait. Yeah, I found you. Yeah, and it's disgusting. Did you see?
I got it. Yep, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
Why will they not call it what it is? It's the Wuhan virus.
Well, they're calling it the novel coronavirus, you know what I'm saying? Which means it's, it's whatever. I don't care. That doesn't matter.
Do you know how many coronaviruses are actually out there? There's a shit ton.
Yeah, I know. And just like, like there's MRSA and SARS. They're both fucking coronaviruses and shit, right? Yeah, I know. And cows and pigs and fucking chickens and all types of animals get these diseases as well. Animals can get this stuff. Like, I get all this, mentality and whatnot. The questions that I have is like, is that all you heard from the World Health Organization?
There was other stuff, but it was more, they focused more on the money, but they weren't like detailing where. Is it going to help Americans? Is it going to help, over in China, who is blaming us for this, by the way. You knew that though.
Yeah.
And then they had brought up like about the prices of oil as well, how they need to critique it to where
critique it.
Yeah, they need to critique it to where it's fair.
To where it's fair.
Yeah, and I said, well, and I had asked, I raised my hand and I said, well, what define fair? I don't understand.
And what they say?
I didn't understand. They said fair, where I guess like a month ago we were at $35 to $40 a barrel.
We were at
Because of
45 a
this,
month ago, but yeah.
yeah. Um, because of the pissing contest between Russia and Saudi Arabia, they broke their truce. It's going down to like $20 a barrel.
Yeah, I know. I called this like last week. Right. I
I didn't
predicted
know
this
you
last week.
last week, but,
Yeah.
but because
Yeah, I
of that,
predicted this last week and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I've been on this at the moment. Now, here's the question is, what does the World Health Organization have to do with oil prices?
because of the money, that's more money that they could use. And the UN, again, has their hand in it. And what I didn't know, seriously, what I didn't know is the UN is pulling all the strings for um, WHO.
Yeah.
And thank God that Trump came in and severed them from Fema. They can't tell us what to do. We can listen, we can go to these little seminars and briefings, but we don't have to apply.
Okay. So
The more they talk about money,
I know that the UN and the WHO and the IMF were all kind of founded at the same time, right? They the IMF and the WHO and the UN is all kind of like the same. They came out of the same shit. They came out of World War II, right? With the League of Nations type of deal and all that type of stuff. But I legitimately, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't believe like they're coming and asking private citizens for money, you know, because
yes.
they're basically funded by the United Nations.
And why? And okay, and then here's my other problem. While they're sitting there, padding out their pockets, we had, like you had brought up last night, and we had talked about today. The propaganda is driving citizens to empty shells. That's depleting small businesses because, like nail salons, hair salons, colleges, they're all closing down.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a repercussion for that we are not going to bounce back from anytime soon.
Yeah, that's why I spoke about hyperinflation. You know, that's why, like, that's my big concern with everything as far as things are concerned.
When I had brought up like the questions to the CDC and WHO, how does this affect our water supply? Okay, how long will this virus live in water? How long? I mean, what do we need to add more? Like charcoal, sands, chemicals. They wouldn't answer or couldn't, and that left me sour to where I needed to talk. And it started last night, and here I am today. Still need to talk.
Yeah, you're probably not going to receive much in the way of instructions, right? Most of the individuals who are going to come out talking about this are going to be virtue signalers. You know, that tends to be how this is going to operate.
And a coworker who's a friend, she's like, have you talked to anyone about this? I'm like, yep. I talked to a shit ton of strangers, and they listened. I said, and I thank God for that, because nobody else is listening.
Yeah, like this is. Hang on. Sorry, I had to cough. All right. Yeah. Okay, so like I started this channel, you know what I mean, to fight against the mainstream media and their bullshit and just the sheer amount of lies we've been told our whole entire lives and things of that nature. And I just I want to be a pro-truth channel. You know what I mean? I want like facts, reason, evidence, logic, these type of things to be utmost, first and foremost in everybody's brain is, you know what I mean? Like the fact that like, yo, look, when you hear me say something and like, it's not like, me going, I'm gonna tell you what, folks, it's the interdimensional space demons. Like, when you hear me speak and, you hear me like get out here and do what I do, I want everybody to know, you know what I mean?
I didn't have any actual fear.
Yeah.
Talking to these people until they took my phone.
Oh, I got you, right?
Yesterday and today, and I'm like, why?
I mean, I legitimately think, like, that should have been and since it's not a public meeting, I can't believe you didn't get any extra information. It was an hour and a half, and they told you that they were PayPal basically funding the entire operation.
Oh, no. Wait till you click that link. You'll see it goes directly to them. I wouldn't click it. You know what? Let me go click it now and just see what happens.
Well, it's China. Like, it's literally written in Chinese.
No. Click it.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, I'm gonna click it eventually. I'm not clicking it right now because it'll crash my shit. Right. This is what happens.
It's COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund for WHO, and then it gives you can do 25, 50, 100, 500, 1,000, and then you can make it a monthly or in memory of someone, which that's a tacky touch, And then there's an open box where you can do more than 2,500.
Yeah.
I mean, honest, I don't know, can I do a screenshot and send it to you in there?
Well, no, I have it. Like, I'm gonna like put it into the thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Okay. But like, I'm gonna like, this is gonna be like an actual video where like I legitimately put it into my video editor and like, put stuff in it, but not, you know what I mean? And I'm looking at it right now.
And this Swiss philanthropy, I've never heard of that. Have you?
Yeah.
I had not. And it's like, okay, I'm 19 years into this, and this shit's new.
Yeah.
But they couldn't answer the questions about water, which I'm sorry, that left me afraid.
Oh, I feel you. Right. I do. I completely understand why you would have fear at the moment. Legit, I would. Mm-hmm.
I'll send you a bottle of water. I make the best fucking water ever.
Like, yo, look, I'm in the mountains, you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
Like, this is not something that like I'm not accustomed to. Like, we got good water around here. Like I legitimately I can pull my water directly off the side of the road, like comes out of a mountain.
So it's artesian?
No, it's just water that's captured from like they basically put a pipe inside of the rocks, and like the water gathers in and just fucking pours out of the pipe all the time.
Just make sure you filter it and boil just in case.
No, you don't really have to for it. You can drink. Be honest with you, you can drink directly out of most of the stuff. You know what I mean? You can drink directly out of it. Yeah, man. Listen.
Is that from a big aquifer?
It's from the mountains. It's from underground in the mountains.
What I mean is there an aquifer there that's already been tapped?
No, it's natural. Like, we have a natural water table, like that's really close to the top of the ground, right?
Okay. So
like, you don't have to worry about nonsense with it. It's kind of the situation. Like, it's probably some of like the best water in the world. It's awesome. Jet, like I'm sitting here like I got the website up on the thing right now. All
right. Well, I just clicked on who the donators are and contributors, and oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's probably like the same normal type of people. No,
it's Australia. It's I can't even pronounce that name.
Azerbaijan.
Thank you. Bill and Melinda Gates. I thought he stepped down.
Not of his charities. You know what I mean? He just stepped down from the whatchamacallit. Yeah. Like, I'm sitting here looking at it, right? COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund, secure way for individuals, philanthropics, and businesses to contribute to WHO-led effort to respond to the pandemic. The United Nations Foundation, the Swiss Philanthropy Foundation have created a solidarity fund to support WHO and partners in a massive effort to help countries prevent, detect, and manage a novel coronavirus, particularly those whose needs are the greatest. The fund will enable us to send essential supplies such as personal protective equipment Frontline workers enable all countries to track and detect disease, boosting laboratory capacities through training and equipment, ensure health workers and communities everywhere have access to the latest science-based information to protect themselves, prevent infection, and care for those in need, accelerate efforts to fast-track discovery and development of life-saving vaccines. Right?
Basically everything before we walked out. That's damn near everything, almost verbatim.
Yeah, right. And it's not letting me click fucking Jones in here. It's gay. Anyway, right? Yeah. So I was sitting here and I was looking at the strategic preparedness and response plan. Right? Oh, there we go. Yeah, strategic preparedness and response plan for the new coronavirus overview. The strategic preparedness and response plan outlines the public health measures that the international community stands ready to provide to support all countries prepare for and respond to COVID-19. The document takes what we have learned so far about the virus and translate that knowledge into strategic action that can guide efforts of all national and international partners with developing context-specific national and regional operational plans. Support national preparedness response for COVID-19. The purpose of this document is to provide a practical guide for the UNCTs and partners to develop a country-level operational plan to support national governments prepare for and respond to COVID-19 in line with strategic preparedness and response. Yeah, right.
Well, they've already received 102 billion, and pledges are 94 billion, if I'm reading this correct, or million.
Yeah.
They're saying we need how much?
A bunch.
675 million, and that's just for March.
Yeah. So, as I said, I mean, like, the whole thing's patently ridiculous.
It is, and well, here was my problem again. All this money and all this funding, okay, yeah, it's whatever. Y'all should have had this set aside for an instant like this. My concern are humans. I don't care about the money. I want to be able to help people. And if this will affect our water supply, which water is life, we need to know.
Yeah.
And we need to know. And I know, like, they've deployed all the reserves already. And I guess there's 3 more states which they haven't named, which will be sending out their reserves as well. And I'm like, okay. And then what? Then what?
All right.
Are the reserves going to help sick people?
I don't think, like, all right. So, like, we were having a conversation with, what's his name last night, right? With Alex last night. He's like pro what China does, right? But see, America, like, there was a guy who put it really properly one time. He said that America runs on an entirely different operating system than the rest of the world does, right? Like, each country has its own operating system, like one people's running Windows, another one's running Linux, and another one's running Safari, you know what I mean? Right. Yeah. And this mentality of, like, having the government come in and shut stuff down it goes completely against how the United States handles its business. The United States are much, much more towards the liberty and freedom and not trying to step on this. All right. So I kind of want to go over this document real quick. I actually have it up on screen at the moment. So, all right, this is the World Health Organization's strategic response plan thing, right? All right, so it says on December 31st, 2019, WHO was alerted to a cluster of pneumonia patients in Wuhan City, Hubei province in China. 1 week later, Chinese authorities confirmed they identified a novel, which is new, coronavirus as the cause of the pneumonia The proposed interim name of the virus is 2019 nCoV. Since the first cases reported, WHO and its partners are working with Chinese authorities and global experts to learn more about the virus, including how it's transmitted to populations most at risk, the spectrum of clinical disease, and the most effective ways to detect, interrupt, and contain human-to-human transmission. The strategic preparedness and response plan outlines the public health measures that the international community stands ready to provide to support all countries to prepare for and respond to the 2019 nCoV. This document takes what we have learned so far about the virus and translate that knowledge into strategic action that can guide the efforts of all national and international departments when developing the context-specific national and regional operations. All right, so we got 3/12/2019 or 12/30, right? And then it has let's see here. Shoot. Oh, yeah, they got it all backwards and stuff. Okay, because they're doing it in European languages. Hunan seafood wholesale market closed. 1/7/2020, novel coronavirus isolated. 1/11, first fatal case reported. 1/12, whole genome sequence shared with WHO and public. Virus designated 2019 nCoV. 1/13, which is January 13th, the first case reported from Thailand. 1/16, first case reported in Japan. 1/19, first case reported in the Republic of Korea. 2 cases in Beijing and 1 case in Guangdong. 1/20, 835 cases reported in China, 529 from the Hubei province. Further cases reported from all but 1 province. First reports of infection in healthcare workers caring for patients of 2019 COV. All right, then situation, it says epidemiologically overview as of 1st February 2020. A total of 11,953 confirmed cases. 2019 nCoV reported worldwide. Figure 2, the total cases reported 11,821 cases reported from China. In China, 60.5% of all cases since the start of the outbreaks reported from the Hubei province. The remaining 39.5 cases have been reported from 33 provinces, regions, and cities. After Hubei province, the second largest number of cases have been reported from Zhejiang province. Evidence shows it has transmitted from one individual to another during previous outbreaks due to coronavirus during Middle East respiratory syndrome virus, MERS, CoV, and the severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS. Most commonly occurred through droplets, personal contact, contaminated objects, fomites. The modes of transmission are likely to be similar. The precise zoonotic animal origin is still uncertain. The virus has been identified in environmental samples from a live animal market in Wuhan. Some human cases have been epidemically linked to this market. Other coronavirus, such as SARS and MERS, were also zoonotic, can be transmitted from animals, civets, cats, dromedary, camels, respectively, to humans. All right, so we're just kind of going through this a little bit. Human likelihood of further spread, human-to-human transmission within families and healthcare settings confirmed. Potential impact on human health. The virus can cause several illnesses, cause severe illness and death, although most cases appear to be mild. However, many uncertain remain. Effectiveness. China has dedicated substantial resources to public health control measures and clinical management, has taken action that include the quarantine of cities and the widespread suspension of transport links between population centers. It will be important to continually assess the extent to which measures are effective and need to adapt measures as the situation evolves. Up to now, countries that have reported imported case have demonstrated efficient and effective disease surveillance and response measures. However, some countries are less prepared to detect and to an imported case. Rumors, misconceptions, and misinformation disseminated online via social media can have a negative impact on response measures and health-seeking behaviors. All right, so yeah, they're blaming us. You there? Yo, can you hear me? All right, either way it goes. These objectives can be achieved by rapidly establishing international coordination to deliver strategic, technical, and operational support through existing mechanisms of partnership, scaling up country preparedness, response, including strength and readiness to rapidly identify, diagnose, and treat cases, identify when feasible, given priority, prevention, control, and healthcare center implementation of health measures for travelers, and awareness raising in population through risk communication and community engagement. Response strategy is based on planning, owing to considerable uncertainty around the extent of the outbreak in China. The transmissibility of the virus and the clinical spectrum of the disease will be necessary to regularly update these assumptions, and gaps in our knowledge are filled. The current response plan assumes that human-to-human transmission takes place. Rapidly establishing international coordination to ensure effective coordination of global partners and stakeholders. UN agencies, humanitarian, technical experts, financial partners. All right, global level. Interagency Standing Committee will meet 4th of February and decide to activate a standing operating procedure for humanitarian system wide scale up activation protocol for the control of infectious disease, under which a UN response to this situation will be coordinated by the WHO through the mechanisms established under its governance program. WHO has established an incident management program together with key operational partners under the leadership of Director General. Director General will bring together key technical and operational departments and meet on a regular basis to provide updates in the outbreak and take decisions. At working level, operational partner coordination will be managed through the Global Outbreak Alert and Response Network, which includes technical agencies, NGOs, Red Cross, Red Crescent organizations. It will coordinate global work on surveillance, epidemiology, modeling, diagnostics, clinical care, and treatment, and other ways to identify, manage, and limit onward transitions of the virus. This network manager will chair these meetings. Regional level, WHO regional offices have established regional country level work with the crisis management authority to implement enhanced surveillance recommendations, risk communications for the public regarding trade and travel, management of imported cases, and response to local outbreaks in countries where the IASC. Man, listen, just a lot of nonsense here, but legit. They're saying enhanced surveillance recommendations, risk communications for the public regarding trade and travel, and management of imported cases. Wow, man, like legit. Where are we at? Page 6. This is 28 pages long. Yo, this is fucking ridiculous. The infodemic, right? Outbreak response has been accompanied by an infodemic, an overabundance of information, some accurate and some not, that makes it hard for people to find trustworthy sources and reliable guidance when they need this. Due to high demand for timely and trustworthy information about the 2019 nCoV WHO technical risk communication, and social media teams have been working closely to track and respond to myths and rumors. WHO and partners are working 24 hours a day to identify the most prevalent rumors that can potentially harm the public health, such as false prevention measures or cures. These myths are then refuted with evidence-based information. WHO and partners are making public health information and advice on the 2019 nCoV, including Mythbusters, available on social media channels including Weibo, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and organizational website. You're not coming to YouTube? In addition to expanding group of global response organizations such as the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and the International Federation of the Red Cross and the Red Crescent Societies are coordinating efforts with WHO to ensure biomedical recommendations can be applied in the community level. These organizations are acting at the global, regional, and country level to ensure that affected populations have a voice and are part of a response. Partners will work together to strengthen global diagnostic capacity for 2019 nCoV detection in order to improve surveillance and track the spread of the disease. Public health efforts to limit the spread and strengthen disease control in countries with important cases depend critically on the ability to detect the pathogen. WHO and partners have activated a network of specialized referral laboratories with demonstrated expertise in molecular detection with coronaviruses. These international laboratories can support national laboratories to confirm new cases. All right, so yeah, fucking, yo, man, listen, this shit is fucking redonkulous. Man, listen, yo, it's fucking goddamn crazy, right? Where are we at? Travel and trade. Evidence shown that restricting the movement of people and goods during public health emergencies may be ineffective, may interrupt vital aid and technical support, disrupt businesses, and have a negative impact on the economies of affected countries and their trading partners. However, in certain specific circumstances, such as uncertainty about the severity of a disease and its transmissibility, measures that restrict the movement of people may prove temporarily useful at the beginning of an outbreak to allow time to implement preparedness activities and to limit the international spread of potentially high infectious diseases. In such situations, countries should perform risk and cost-benefit analysis before implementing such restrictions to assess whether the benefits outweigh the drawbacks. WHO has published and will regularly update advice for international travel and trade, which includes advice for international travelers as well as measures for international travel such as entry or exit screening. Man, listen. Globalization has put us in a bad spot. I'll be honest with you. That's really where we're at. Scaling up country readiness and response operations. Beyond establishing international coordination and operational support, it's crucial to scale up country preparedness and response operations. Now, this is all legitimately, right? Like, this surveillance, right? National authorities must notify WHO to detect the cases under IHR 2005 and undertake case-based and/or aggregated reporting as per global surveillance guidance. Partners will provide any support necessary to enable authorities to fulfill these obligations. Disaggregated data on age, sex, pregnancy status, and outcome as appropriate should be reported. So you're going to tell us what to do? Is that the fucking deal? Right? Points of entry should establish and update a multi-sectoral contingency plan as points of entry integrated with other emergency operational plans at the point of entry, covering relevant stakeholders, and conduct simulation exercises to assess the operational applicability of the plan in terms of appropriate response. Separate from other travelers, where travelers who meet definition of a suspected 2019 NCOV case can be interviewed in a safe and dignified way away from other travelers. As suspected cases should be granted access to medical follow-up by establishment arranged with local medical facilities for isolation. Wow, man, like, yo. I mean, a lot of this, though, is just, like, fucking basic-ass shit. Like, real talk. Like, that's really what the majority of this shit is. Like, when it really comes down to it. So, anyway, right. Yo, can you hear me now? Yo. Can you hear me? X. All right. So, yo, Raven. Company leader to Raven. Company leader to Raven. Yo, I see my light lighting up. You know what I mean? It means it should be working. Yo. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Yeah, so anyway, right. Y'all look, it's been about 46 minutes, so you know what I mean, I wanted to bring y'all this interview, you know what I'm saying, like hear exactly what this individual heard in their WHO meeting today from, you know what I'm saying, inside the caverns of government. You know the deal, man. Yo, this is a pro-truth channel. This is a news channel. I'm here to bring you actual news and real shit. You know what I mean? I'm going to put the link in the description for the W.H.O, you know what I mean, thing. And, you know what I mean, I put, you know, you got any more questions, man, come see me. Like, y'all know the deal, man.